Every training method explained. Number 1, long run. The long run is likely the most important method of training and commonly consists of a slow to moderate pace run that spans anywhere from 30 minutes to multiple hours. The purpose of the long run is to increase the aerobic capacity or the way oxygen is delivered to your muscles. Additionally, it improves your body's efficiency by using fat as fuel, which is known as endurance. Number 2, tempo run. Tempo runs are more moderately intense runs that are typically ran in heart rate zones 3 and 4 and are slower than race pace but faster than your long runs. Tempo runs usually range from 20 to 60 minutes and have a consistent pace throughout. These runs help improve your speed and endurance and are most beneficial for preparing someone that is trying to move up in race distances. Number 3, threshold runs are a training method very similar to tempo runs. This is because they're ran in zone 3 to 4 and also focus on a consistent pace. In contrast, the pace is typically closer to a race pace, as it's at the point where your body reaches its lactate threshold. Alternatively to a tempo, a threshold is commonly broken into intervals, such as 2 by 20 minutes at threshold pace with a 3-minute rest. The final distinction is the goal of these workouts. A threshold focuses on controlling and building up one's lactate threshold, thus the name. Next up, it's hill runs. This is a well-known training method in which runners will find areas that are hilly or have large hills and will run it while fighting the steep elevation and often imbalanced terrain. Despite this method often being neglected or outright skipped by some programs, it has many benefits that you won't get as easily from other workouts. This includes preparation for varying cross-country courses, building mental toughness, and most powerfully, strengthening our leg muscles, enhancing performances overall. This method is most often run in reps. However, if in the right area, it can be run all together like the next method. Number 5, Fartleks, meaning speed play in Swedish, is an alternatively paced run that allows a runner to mix alternating fast and slow paces and intensities all into one training. This permits a more enjoyable way of training rather than the old traditional running. When doing fartleks, expect to gain an increase in your aerobic and anaerobic capacity, or, put simply, your metabolic capacity. Number 6. Easy runs are just as the name easy suggests, and are ran in zone 1 and 2 at a pretty slow pace, often even slower than people like to admit. For example, Matt Centrowitz, a 3:49 miler, did recovery runs between 8 to 9 minutes per mile. This is because it's essential to do for recovery and preventing injuries. So make sure to make time for your easy runs every week. Number 7, strength training. Strength training is a method feared by many cross-country and track athletes alike. Despite this, strength training has a plethora of benefits that can push you ahead of your competition. This includes stronger legs, which allow for quicker movements, a stronger core, which increases your stability and balance, and stronger arms, which allow for more power in your running strides. Not to mention, depending on how you train your muscles, they can become used to the endurance in the gym and then can be applied to your running. Next up, it's interval training. Interval training is a way to improve that is often confused with fartlek training, as it has similar benefits in running, but varying methods of performing. To begin, interval training goes off a distance-based workout and is typically ran at a track. Meanwhile, fartleks are time-based and mostly ran on outruns. Additionally, where fartleks are paced slow and fast, intervals go fast and then into a recovery jog. For clarity, you could see a sample fartlek being 3 minutes on and 5 minutes off for 45 minutes, and an interval being 5 by 800 with a 400-meter recovery jog after each rep. Number 9, barefoot runs. This next training method is a more niche training path in which runners replace their daily trainers that are built for comfort and support with barefoot shoes that allow for runners to feel the way our ancestors ran. Typically, when doing barefoot training, it's better to start off by using barefoot shoes for your shorter runs on soft ground. Picking this route of barefoot shoes allows for the adaptation of a more natural ground striking, which could then be used to pick the best trainers. Running this way can also help to strengthen feet, which can be used for limiting injury and muscle stress. Our final training method is sand runs. These runs are a more advanced running method that require runners to run through sand, which turns out to be pretty challenging if you've ever tried to run on sand yourself. But this difficult run comes with great benefits, as it allows for runners to train with increased resistance similar to the different levels on a stationary bike. This results in stronger leg muscles and arms, which make normal running feel light on your feet. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that you can say to describe sand runs. But if you want to see it in practice, I suggest you watch my video on the best high school workouts. So that is every running training method explained. If you want to see similar videos to this, please comment with any suggestions and be sure to share this video with anyone interested. Goodbye.